Hello and welcome to Ready Bet Action. It is Friday night. We are coming to you with some picks for Saturday. We've got some NBA action. We've got some soccer action. We've got some college football action. We've got a lot because we are Ready Bet Action. Eric, how are you doing?
I'm ready. No,
To
I'm
bet
good.
on all the action
I am. Yeah, I was gonna keep going with it, but I decided the joke was already dragging on too
is
long,
dead.
so we need
It's
to
dead.
we need to wrap it up.
Yes.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited. It's Friday. We got a great weekend of sports. I think we're gonna have a really great weekend this weekend, and lots of good games to pick. So
Yeah, I'm excited too. Let's jump right now. Yeah, let's jump right into it with some NBA action. You have a little parlay that you want to give us, and from my understanding of your betting here, you've been doing pretty good on these. You haven't been bringing them to the show just yet, kind of testing them at home, and now you're finally ready to bless the world with your great betting tips.
yeah, absolutely. I got some money line. I got some money line parlay here for us. We're gonna take the Warriors. This is for Saturday, by the way. If
Yes.
you happen to be watching this on a different day, this is for Saturday the 11th. I know there's NBA action almost every day. Let me make sure I get all my matchups right. But I'm gonna go with the Warriors on the money line. So you're gonna take them and you're gonna combine it with the Celtics money line. And the reason why you're going to do that, I like just space who they're playing, which is not boding well for my
No.
reasonings why. So pretty much the Warriors are coming off like an excessive amount of rest. They played last Wednesday. They played against the Nuggets, so they're coming home. They're without Draymond Green, but they're playing the Cavaliers, who haven't really had a really strong start to their season. So I like the Warriors to come home after 3 days, bounce back and get that win. And then the Celtics are playing a back-to-back against the Raptors, but the Raptors are 0-5 on the road this year. And the Celtics should be taking care of business. They're the heavier favorites in this parlay, actually. So Celtics should be able to take care of the Raptors pretty easily. So we're going to smash those together to get a little bit of plus money there.
I love it. I have no idea. I don't know anything about the NBA, so I trust you. Let's go. 102 sounds good. Let's take everyone over to some soccer action. We had the Champions League this week, and now we get some club football again. Europa League wasn't extremely successful. I hit more than half of my picks, but um, some weird ones just with some strange lineups. So back to league play. I want to take AC Milan. Speaking of the Champions League, they just beat PSG with Mbappe. They play against a pretty soft Lecce team. So we're going to take them on the money line, AC Milan, that is, and we're going to parlay that with Juventus, who is able to go to top spot in Serie A with a win versus Cagliari. So we're going to take Juventus and AC Milan, two pretty big favorites on the money line at plus 110. We are going to jump now to the bottom league in English football, bottom professional league. We are taking Wrexham on the money line and over 1.5 goals against Gillingham. Wrexham is a very strong squad. They started off the season a little weaker than you might expect. That's because Paul Mullen was injured. He is their number one striker. He is a goal scoring machine. Please do watch Welcome to Wrexham. What a fantastic show. But Wrexham is for real. They have brought in quality players. Gillingham gives up a lot of goals. I could see this being a 3-1 type victory for Wrexham. So, but I can also see it being 2-1 victory. So I don't really want them on the spread. Just give me the money line and the total of over 1.5 goals. And we're going to get that at minus 113. Finally, Wolves broke our heart. They gave Sheffield United their first win of the year. Now they play a Tottenham team that is pissed off after receiving 2 red cards in a game versus Chelsea, costing them the top spot in the Premier League. Tottenham, we're going to take them on the road to win or draw. I think they win this game outright, but let's just be a little bit safe and take that draw. And then we're going to go over to La Liga and parlay this with Girona, who's in second place. They continue to win. Girona is actually owned by the same the same group that owns Man City, which is quite interesting. So if Girona does continue on this trajectory and finish in the Champions League, it'll be interesting to see what FIFA does with that. But we're just going to take Girona again to win or draw, and we're going to get that at minus 116. I feel like this is a super safe play.
Nice.
That's always what the death nail in the coffin, right? But I like this pick a lot. I shared
Dude,
this one with you yesterday, and you were like, "No, I'm going to put a lot of money on this."
yeah, I'm
That's
absolutely gonna
right
do that.
there.
Yeah, and like we got screwed by a couple of these teams last week, so we're looking for them to bounce back here this week. Real
Or in
fluky
the
stuff.
case of Wolves, don't bounce back. Fuck you. You're going to lose
Yes.
again.
Yeah, sorry, I meant we're gonna bounce back is what I should have said.
Yeah. Yeah. You made me angry.
That's great. Well, I can definitely kick us off with some college football.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's do it.
I'll get it started with us with Texas Tech at Kansas. Kansas has just not disappointed at home this year. They've been a really impressive team, no matter who their quarterback situation has been giving me hesitation, but it shouldn't anymore. Like this is a really good team. Like they went out, beat Oklahoma 7-2 at home versus like a pretty mid Texas Tech team. So I like the Jayhawks to cover 4 points. It's not an amazing number, but I like it at home in Lawrence. I like
Yeah.
them a lot of points there. So
And Lance Leipold, I mean, we've been talking about him in the coaching community for a long time. He getting this gig has just been a perfect fit for him. I think it's Kansas is going to stick around in this kind of not quite playoff tier, but you know, spoiler for sure. They can beat a lot of good teams.
yeah, they're a lot of fun to watch. They're gonna get that new stadium. You might actually see Kansas have a football program here over the next decade. We'll see. What do you got for us, Dave?
So I will take you to one of the big games of the week. Michigan is going to College Station at Penn State. Wait, is college? Now I'm confused. Is College Station the right place, or is College Station Texas A&M?
College Station's Texas A&M. They are going to
State College, Penn State at Penn State. They're going to the place where the Nittany Lions play. State College? No, I already said that. I'm going to edit all this shit out. We will watch Michigan absolutely
it
upset
is
Penn
State
State.
College. No, you nailed it. I was losing it.
Perfect.
You
Well,
nailed it.
well, College Station is Texas A&M. All right, here we go. So I just don't think Penn State's offense can hang with Michigan. Drew Lohr has not looked good in time against great defenses. I know Michigan hasn't played anyone, but that run attack and JJ McCarthy, I think, is really good. I think this line is where it is because I think people want this to be a big game. I don't think it is. Now, that being said, a lot of the dudes that I really, really respect in the industry are on the other side of this. So the dudes that I usually go to and I'm like, oh, if they're all against this, I'm not taking it. Well, I'm taking it anyway. Give me Michigan -4. I think y'all are wrong. I think Michigan rolls here. I might do an outline here and play it up to 6.5, maybe to 9.5. So
I don't think Jim Harbaugh getting suspended today is really, honestly, even an impact on this game either. Like he gets to coach them all the way up until game time, apparently, and like that's like head coaches don't do anything during the game at this point, but not much, right? So I really don't think that that's really a factor personally. But maybe with the news breaking the last few hours, you can get this number better. Maybe it starts going Penn State's way and this number comes down. We'll see.
now I want to check. Okay, give me your next one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to take you over to a hard fade of the Nebraska Cornhuskers more than anything. You can get Maryland -2. The game is in Lincoln. Maryland's fine. They're a fine team. The problem is that Nebraska here has no ability to compete with decent teams or get wins in these scenarios. So Nebraska just lost to Michigan State last week, and that's really what pushed me over the edge here. And at such a low, like a -2 for Maryland, feels really good. We got Tua's little brother still rolling out there for Maryland doing his thing. I forgot Tua's little brother's name. It's another tongue of Viola. Yeah. So it's not really a as much of an endorsement of Maryland if you can't tell by my leans here. It's more of a hard fade of Nebraska playing a actual college football team and coming off a road loss or coming off a loss to Michigan State. Oof, a team that's just in shambles this year. How do you lose to Michigan State? So yeah, that's why I'm going with Maryland. The hard Nebraska fade.
All right. Yeah, Maryland's looked rough the last couple of weeks. It's definitely a bounce back spot for them.
Yep.
Hopefully they take it seriously. I'm gonna go with Alabama. I'm taking an alt line on this because I almost said a bad word. I'm a small baby boy. So I'm going to take Alabama -10 at Kentucky. I don't want that -13 or whatever it's at. It feels a little steep. I think they could win by 2 touchdowns. I definitely think they win by double digits. Kentucky to me is just not a very good team. People people hype up transfer quarterbacks so much. We heard so much excitement around Brennan Armstrong, among Devin Leary, who's at Kentucky. And I just think that people overrate Sam Hartman. Like people like just because someone's transferring in doesn't mean that they're great. If they were great, maybe they would have stayed. So Kentucky to me just underperformed. Ray Davis has not been near as good rushing the ball as before. Alabama's defense is tight. I think they figured something out with this offense with Jalen Milroe since the break. They've been pretty since their bye week, not the break. Since their bye week, they've been pretty good. Jalen Milroe with his rushing ability, I think, is super strong, and I think he'll be able to hit those deep shots against this kind of depleted Kentucky secondary. Kentucky, unlike Kansas, still just a basketball school. That's right. I said it. Come at me. Alabama -10.
I don't think anyone's going to come at you. I think we all tend to agree. Although Kentucky, even in basketball, hasn't really done much. Like recently, I mean, they've obviously done a ton.
Yeah, now that everyone else can cheat, it doesn't have that same advantage. Now that you can just pay players outright, they don't get the benefit.
God, that's my favorite argument is that like now the cheating playing field is leveled for everyone. It's so true. Calipari cannot just bring in and pay.
Sorry, bro.
Comes in. Yep.
I mean, he can't, but everyone else is doing it too.
Yep.
All right. I know you still got some plays for us here. What else you are? You're on one of the lowest totals on the year. You've got to play in that game with Rutgers, Iowa.
Yeah, but I'm not on the total. I'm on Iowa. I'm going to take Iowa -1.5. We at the beginning of the year took Iowa over 8.5 wins, and they're sitting at 7 right now. So I think this has to be one of the wins. I do think it's a home win for them versus Rutgers, who has looked better this year, like looked decent this year. But they've been winning all these games. Every win Iowa's had this year, all 7 wins, has been over -1.5. They've all been by like 3+ points, and it could very well be a 6 to 9 game. But guess what? That still covers 1.5. So if you think Iowa's going to win, you should just go ahead and take the spread because this is how they win football games by 2, 3, 4 points, and they will cover this 1.5. So simple logic.
I like it. I like it. If it was like, a 7.5 point, I think you just automatically take the plus points there, because, in a low scoring game, it's probably, but and to your point, 1.5, not a big deal, even if the total is under, 30 points. So I like that a lot.
One thing I did want to do, speaking of the total, though, is Feren's kid, the offensive coordinator, is supposed to be scoring 25 points a game this year. I want to go through and do the math and see what he has to average. Like,
oh, dude, it's crazy.
Because he's got to be like 60 points a game, right? At this point.
Yeah. But you do know that he's already been told that he won't be coming back next year.
Oh,
so
I
he's
didn't know
already been, he's already been released. That happened during their bye week. But he still is on the sideline, but he's not their offensive coordinator anymore. But they would need a stupid amount of points. But I do like the idea that they win this game. You have one more play for us. You've got a Pac-12 game. Utah versus Washington that you're on here.
I do. I like Washington at home in this spot. I think Utah, you're just starting to see fizzle out. They'll get a couple more wins like against Colorado and whatnot. Game will be at actually. But I think Utah is just kind of on the fade. They're just kind of on the way out. I think we knew that when Cam Rising, is officially out the rest of the year. They're lacking some depth there. I think they're just kind of slowly working their way out of the Pac-12 championship conversation. I think Washington handles business at home. I'd say probably by 10 points. So, I'm not like supremely confident that they're going to like Washington's going to blow this out, but I do see like a 10-point win happening. I think Washington's offense looks really good. And I don't think Utah really has what it takes to keep up with Washington in this one. And Washington also it's more of a fate of Utah, but Washington can see a national title college football playoff scenario, and they need to prove that by beating the living daylights out of ranked teams. So that will only help them. So they're going to try at least, right? So that's my reasoning there.
I like it. Well, that's great. I mean, that's a good show. We got a lot of selections. I think that's 10 picks we have for you for Saturday. Of course, we'll have more for you for Sunday. We've got NFL picks. We've got DFS coming up. And of course, we'll have some soccer plays for Sunday morning. So please do follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, on X/Twitter. Please do like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. However you can support us, please do. If you follow us on one, follow us on the other. We can really use the help. Also, do us a favor. Tell your friends about this. Listen, 2 or 3 more people betting on this aren't going to move the lines. It's not like you're going against your fantasy football competition here. Give us some love. Tell your friends about the show. It really means a lot to us. But right now is the part of the show that we are going to break down all our favorite plays for Saturday, November 11th. We're going to start with soccer, move to the NBA, and then finish off with a little college football. So starting with soccer, we are going to take you to Serie A, where AC Milan, we're going to take them on the money line and parlay that with Juventus on the money line. Get that at plus 110. 2 favorites that are on the top of the league in Serie A. We want to see them continue their fire results right now. We're also going to take Wrexham on the money line, who continue to win and continue to put up goals against a team that allows a lot of goals. So we're going to take Wrexham on the money line versus Gillingham and over 1.5 total goals in that game. Finally, we're going to take Tottenham to win or draw and parlay that with Girona in La Liga to win or draw. And we're going to get that at minus 116. All right, Eric, what are your basketball plays? And then give us your college football plays.
Yeah, I got, we're going to take the Warriors on the money line, and we're going to add the Celtics money line for the Saturday games to get to some plus action there. Go to college football. I got Texas Tech versus Kansas -4. I'm going to take Maryland -2 versus Nebraska. I'm going to take Iowa -1.5 at home versus Rutgers. And my last college football pick is Washington -8.5 versus Utah.
I think the Iowa play is my favorite play of all of our plays. I am on Michigan -4 at Penn State. I'm also at Alabama on an alt line at -10 versus Kentucky at -130. I know people tell you not to take alt lines in college football. I'm doing it anyway. That's our show. Thank you guys so much for listening, for watching, for consuming the content. Eric, any final words for our good listeners here?
No, let's go do it. Let's go make some money.
All right. Peace out, y'all. We'll be back with you very soon with the DFS for Sunday for the NFL slate. Talk to you soon.